Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to FishOfHex. My name is Travis. Today we're going to be doing another rambling video. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is where I have usually reef-related topics that I talk about, but sometimes I go off on different things, and that's hence the name of the video title, Rambling. So if you enjoy this content, give the video a thumbs up, and let's get started. Okay, first things first, I am going to give you a quick update on the Trident. As I mentioned in my initial video, I am going to calibrate it and do a full in-depth review on it once I get some time. You guys know that I did a video yesterday on the calcium reactor from Geo, and I actually ran that reactor for 2 years before I even did the video, just to make sure I could give you guys a pretty decent review and kind of have an overall good idea of how the reactor worked. And yeah. The Trident, I'm not going to wait that long. I'll probably just wait like a month or so to get a really good idea of how it works and calibrates and just overall what I think about it. But so far, it's pretty cool. It does have a cool factor, the whole nerdy, kind of gadgety type of feeling. I like that it does test my alkalinity 4 times a day and my magnesium and calcium twice a day. And of course, you can adjust that within the app there or the Apex. And yeah. I am getting an 8.3 to 8.6 consistently fluctuation-wise with the Trident, but I am testing 9 to 9.1 with my Hannah checker. Now, I do know that I've had different bottles of reagent from Hannah, and I've gotten 1 point difference exactly. So I've got like an 8.0 and a 9.0 on 2 different bottles. So I know that there is definitely room for error. I will calibrate the Trident here in the next few days once I get some time. It's just been pretty swamped lately, so I haven't had ability to really sit down and work on it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Is it worth the money? I talked about this on Mike's stream on Friday for a little bit. I kind of went off on it, tried not to, but yeah. Is it worth the money? Honestly, no. I don't think it's worth the money. It has a very flimsy feeling to it. When you take the freaking drawer out, the whole top is really flimsy. The plastic piece that's falling out for fucking $600 or whatever the hell it costs retail. There should be nothing falling off of this. It shouldn't feel flimsy, but I know it is plastic. It is what it is. I know that the internals is what's important, but yeah, I mean, we're not carrying it around like a purse, so I wouldn't, I don't expect it to be perfectly stable, but I did expect it not to kind of flop around when I took the drawer out, so that was really disappointing. Now, accuracy-wise, I don't know until I calibrate it if it's going to get better. I'm happy with the reading that I'm getting. The fact that I'm staying consistent on both just means that I'm going to use both all the time. Now, as I mentioned before, I will kind of back off my Hannah checker probably to once a week or once every other week just to make sure that I'm staying consistent and there's no real issues with the Trident. Yeah, if something has moving parts, it's going to fail eventually. The Hannah checker doesn't have any moving parts. I know that the reagent, of course, can be different, but there's a lot of moving parts inside this Trident, and eventually something's going to fail, and that's just the way it is. That's the way it is with the Kumar. I almost said Kumar. Fucking, I watched Harold and Kumar 2 days ago, so that shit stuck on my, what was it? It was like Escape from Guantanamo Bay or something, whatever it was. But yeah, the Kumar, the Kumar, or Kumar, whatever the fuck that pump is called that I used for the calcium reactor that just had too many moving parts. It had bad reviews regarding the tubing, and I just didn't want to use it because it wasn't fast enough as well for the calcium reactor, and I'll talk about that in a later video. But yeah, so the Trident itself is cool. That's about it. Now, some people are using it to dose calcium and alkalinity, based on what you need. I'm not a big fan of that method. I've always believed in equal parts of both, and I've talked about this fucking 1,000 times. That's why we use calcium reactors. It does equal parts, just like Kalkwasser. And when I dosed the BRS 2 part, I used equal parts, and that's what I recommend for people to keep their tank stable. I've been successful doing that up to this point, so if you're using the Trident to dose, maybe 3 milliliters of alk every day and 10 milliliters of calcium, I just don't think that that's going to work out long term, but who knows? Maybe we're doing things wrong. The hobby progresses. People change. Different methods work differently. Maybe you don't actually need to dose equal parts. But in my experience and keeping my tank stable and keeping clients' tanks stable and helping hundreds of people with the same process, it's always worked out dosing equal parts, and the tanks have always worked through that and did well. So maybe there's something else going on. Maybe there's, I don't know. Maybe with the Trident, there's a different way of doing things based on your consumption. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out. Only time will tell for that. But overall, would I buy the Trident again? Somebody asked me that. Probably not. You got to think about this. For the amount of money that you spend on the Trident, you can buy a Hannah checker. And how much reagent could you have bought for not only the cost of the Trident, but for the cost of the reagent every single month. Convenience is a son of a bitch, man. If you want convenience, you got to pay for it, and that's exactly what the Trident is. As long as it's accurate convenience, and we'll find out once we calibrate it how accurate it is. And because what I'm going to do is I'm going to match that up with several different test kits to see what we get. And of course, they're all hobby grade test kits, and you can't expect everything to be perfect, but get a general idea. Stability is really key. I don't care if it's at 8.3 or 9.0. I don't care if it's at that level as long as it stays stable. That's really all I care about at this point. Yeah, that's enough with the Trident. Again, I'll do a separate video once I really get some time in the seat and figure out if I really like it or not. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the Nero 5 power head. You guys know that I added one of these to the 40-gallon shallow reef, and I am going to order 2 more of them here probably within the next couple days to add them to my grow out tanks. And so far I like it. It has a lot of power for the size. I haven't taken them apart yet. From what I'm told, they have the same internals as the Jabo pumps, which is kind of concerning. But if the motor holds out and it doesn't seize up after 6 months, then it's a fucking winner in my book. Because those Jabo pumps they're gone. I'm never buying another Jabo pump. Everything about Jabo is just taking a huge shit over the last couple years, and I'm really disappointed. But you know, fucking the shit's made over in China. What do you expect? You know, no offense to them, but anyway, moving on. The pump itself is pretty good. It has a lot of flow. The only downside is it only has, you can adjust from like, I think 5%, 10%, 20, 50, 80, and 100%. And then when you lose power to the damn thing, it defaults back down to the lowest setting, which I don't really like. And honestly, there might be something that I'm missing. I haven't dove into it. I literally took it out of the box, took some pictures and video of it, and threw it in the damn tank and turned it on, and I haven't touched it since. Every time I turn off the power, I go in there and I get it back to 80%, but other than that, I haven't done anything. I haven't even looked at the freaking manual. So there might be a way to save the settings. I don't know. And that just goes to show how freaking busy I am here. I literally just took it out of the box and plopped it in there. But so far, a ton of flow. I mean, it really mixed up that shallow reef after not having flow for a couple weeks. It was nuts. Yeah, I like it. It's quiet, and the fact that it sticks through relatively thick glass is nice. I really like the magnets on it. And yeah, so I'll get a couple of those in here probably before the end of the week or early next week. Plop those on the grow out tanks and pretty much do the same thing. I'm just going to do 1 for now, but I might add 2 depending on kind of how the colonies are reacting to the flow, but they should be perfectly fine with 1. And yeah, so I am also going to order through them a HD Prime. I'm going to do the older one. I think that's the one I'm getting. And I'm going to put that over the quarantine tank that's right next to me. And that thing is pretty much ready to go. It's got probably a 2 or 3 weeks worth of cycling left to do. And then we'll be ordering our first pack of random acros and putting them in and going through quarantine and kind of just adding to the grow out system. And yeah, so it is a little bit of a process. I might as well talk about that too. The grow out system's great. I am starting to make some money on the colonies that are growing on those plates in there, but it's just going to take a while. These are acros. They got to grow. And to be honest, I have a lower range of par. I am staying around that 250 to 350 range of par, and it is kind of low. So I am thinking about adding maybe some reef brights, maybe getting 4 reef bright strips. Oh, it says streeps. Oh, fuck. Strips, and putting them on there and doing LED strips for that. We'll see. The par itself isn't bad. It's definitely going to grow corals, but is it going to grow them as fast as I want them to grow? I really get a lot of growth around that 450 to 500 range. That seems to be like the sweet spot in the reef tank. And every coral in that range in my 300 just seems to do really well. And, you know, we'll see. I'll give it another month or 2 before I decide to blow any more money on lighting, considering the fact that we already got freaking, what, 6? Yeah, 6 XR15s over that system. Yeah, so... Yeah, not trying to bleed out here. I just want to grow coral. I don't want to go broke and, you know, damn, it's going to suck. So, yeah, we'll see. I'll give it some time, give it another month or so, and I might just add a little bit more lighting to bump up that par about 100, 150 or so. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the 3D printer. You guys have been asking, I post a lot of pictures on Instagram of me making stuff here in the fish room. So I'm just going to answer some basic questions that you guys have been asking. What programs am I using? I'm using Tinkard, however else you want to pronounce it. It's an online application. That's where I do a lot of my building. It's very basic, easy to learn. And then I use Cura for my slicing program. So those are the 2 programs I use. I know there's a ton of them out there. These are just the ones that I like. I'm relatively new to 3D printing. It's only been about, what, 6 months or so, and I haven't really done a lot of it, and I've been starting to now that I'm kind of incorporating it here with the reef tank. And I use ABS for the reef tank, and I know that there's another one, PET, whatever. I just ordered it off Amazon. That's reef safe. It's basically what plastic bottles are made out of. So I got some of that coming in, and yeah, so I use ABS for the reef tank. Do not use PLA for the reef tank. I know some people do, but I'm getting mixed reviews. They're back and forth on if it leaches into the tank or dissolves or whatever. So I know that ABS is perfectly fine, and that this PETAG or whatever the fuck it's called is good for reef tanks. So yeah, I've been making frag racks using old, well, speaking of Jabo, yeah, old magnets from Jabo pumps that have died. I'm using them to hold up these frag racks. And I just have an Ender 3 Pro, which is a basic 3D printer. It's kind of the DIY. You put it together yourself. I just got the glass top for it. I made a whole bunch of changes and kind of upgrades here and there, springs and cables and extruder heads and all sorts of shit. I've just kind of been messing around. I really do enjoy it, and yeah, it's just nice. And that's why I've been making those keychains that I've been giving away on people who have orders that are higher than $150. I just give you a free keychain made from the 3D printer. It's just a piece of coral. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I like it, and you know, if I ever need to make something here in the fish room, I can just design it, which I really like the hands-on stuff. I like getting in there and designing things, and seeing it come to life on a 3D printer just kind of fulfills that whole feeling. So yeah, pretty excited about the 3D printer. I want to get the Ender 5 Plus. I know there's, I forgot his name on Facebook, said it, recommended it, and I went and looked it up afterward. It's pretty big, it's pretty awesome, and it's pretty expensive, so I'm probably not going to get it anytime soon, but it's definitely something that I want. I'm actually here playing with some plastic. You can hear it. That's what I've been fiddling with, so you're probably hearing it throughout the whole damn video. But yeah, so let's move on. Okay, so I do want to address something that I hear quite a bit through the comment section, and I know a lot of you guys are just joking because I have created monsters in my live streams and in my comment section. Either we have the same personality, or you're just finally opening up like I am. So a lot of you guys just talk shit. A lot of emails start with "Hey fucker," which I think is hilarious. And it's just. It's an interesting community, let's just say that, and as long as we get along, I don't really care. But a lot of you guys were saying, hey man, you know, when you've seen the XR15s and the Trident, you guys knew that I got some discounts and help and sponsorship stuff through different companies. A lot of you guys are like, hey man, I should become a damn YouTuber so I can get some free shit. And it's not like that, at least not for me. I usually don't accept anything for free. I didn't get my tank for free. I didn't get my sump for free. I didn't get any of that stuff for free. I got a huge discount in turn for advertisement, but I didn't get it for free, and I don't accept anything for free. I have before. I will admit I have for some companies, and I regretted it right away because I feel like I'm obligated to do certain things for people when they give you something for free, and I don't like being in that position. It makes it difficult to create content when you feel like you have to do something above and beyond because they gave it to you for free. So I have never accepted anything like that, but doesn't mean I won't. So I'm just saying, if somebody offers me a 1,000-gallon reef tank for free for like 200 videos, I'm not turning that shit down, considering the fact how much it costs. But I'm just simply saying that the stuff that I've gotten up to this point, 99% of it has not been free, and I've always paid for all of it, at least a good chunk of it. And yeah, YouTube is not easy. That's why there are so many people over the last 3 years, 4 years on YouTube, something like that. It's probably 4 by now. I've seen a lot of people come and go. Like, they come in strong, they start doing content, and then they just give up. It's very difficult, and then creating content every day is even harder. And then when you add the coral business on top of it, it's beyond a full-time job. My day starts at 7 a.m. and I leave the fish room usually by midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and that shit just starts over in a few hours. I don't really sleep a lot, which is probably a downside, but it's something that's been like that for years, for like the last 12 years, so it's not something that I'm really concerned about changing too much. But my day is full through the whole day. There's always something going on. There's always a project. There's always orders that need to be filled. There's always a video content that needs to be created or outlines. There's always something. And YouTube is a lot more than what you guys see on the surface. You guys get a video every day. You don't see the 2 or 3 hours or even the multiple days or weeks that it takes to prep for a video. Yeah, so I know you guys are joking, but I invite anybody who thinks that it's easy to start a channel and get going. Now, it is easy for certain people. For me, my personality, it's kind of difficult because I'm not as friendly as your average reefer, I would suppose, and I don't have a set of tits and a nice face. So it makes it a little bit difficult for me to progress, and, you know, it is what it is. I guess I could grow some tits. I'm working on it, man. I've been eating a lot of ice cream cake lately, so shit. possibilities in this day and age. But anyway, yeah, oh, Jesus, I should probably edit that out. This is going to get demonetized. I fucking know it. Oh, well. So, yeah, it's not as easy as you think it is, but I do invite any of you guys to try to make a channel and be successful. Because actually, it's quite fun being able to document your tank and see what you're doing and sharing that with people. That's awesome. That's how all this started. I really enjoyed sharing stuff with you guys. But then it started moving over. It didn't take long. It moved over to, oh man, I probably should tell people about this because I fucked up and I almost killed my reef tank. So that's how this all started. Like I said, been reefing for 5.5 years, and 4 of those years have been here on YouTube. So you guys have seen my progression. You can go back to way back when I had the 125. Everything was DIY. I had a freaking closet with a water barrel in it and a quarantine tank, and I called it my little man closet. And a lot of videos were in there, and then we upgraded here. And you know, you guys have seen the progress over the last 4 years. So yeah, I don't know where the hell I was going with that, but yeah. So oh, fuck. Moving on. Okay, so I think I have one more thing I want to talk about. What are we, 16 minutes into this? Something like that. I want to talk about the 3D printed Dremel tool that I use to kill the Monty and my phytoplankton. Some of you guys are asking me on a live stream to share this information with you guys. Now, when it comes to the Dremel handle, I cannot put this out in the public. You guys are going to kill yourselves with it, cut your dick off or something. I can't risk it. My lawyer buddy said, nope, don't even put it out there because someone's going to be like, hey, man, I learned it from you, even with the disclaimer, and someone's going to do something stupid. So he's like, just hold off until you can dial it in and make it safe, and then at least safer, because right now, if it gets too warm, like not the handle, but the tube itself where it's spinning inside, it will melt and that little spinny cable will flop around and it will take your arm off. So no, ixnay on the share an A on that A, okay, at least for now, right? Now, when it comes to the phytoplankton stuff, I grow it here in house and I'm not sharing that information with you. The guy that gave me the information is a really close friend, and he's like, I've been working on this, how to do it for 10 to 15 years, and there's a certain way to do it, and he says, do not share it with anybody. So, because I respect him and his opinion and what he says, I'm not going to share that information with you guys. But if you want to buy phytoplankton, that shit's always for sale because it's never going to end. It's literally growing like crazy in here. So I do apologize for not sharing that information with you, but there's just some things that I have to keep to myself, and that's not only for business sake, but also to respect some of my friends. So, yeah. I think that's it. I don't really have anything else to talk about. This rambling video went by pretty quick. Is there anything else? Let me look around. The tank is healing, slowly healing, and that's why I'm getting a little bit dipping out. Not too much, but the tank is healing. It's looking a lot better. Nutrients are still low. I killed my freaking macroalgae the other day. I went in there and cleaned detritus. After I put that new pump in, the Nero 5, it just made a ton of detritus all over the place, so I had to get in there and clean it, and then I ended up doing the same in the 300 for a total of about 80 gallons, and it was too much. My nutrients are already low, and I ended up wiping out 90% of my macroalgae. And it's coming back, so that stuff will be up for sale. And the coralline algae, once it grows in the grow out system, I'll put it up for sale. So just keep an eye on that. I had 5 up the other day. They went quickly. It's pretty cool. I just grow coralline algae and I scrape it off with a razor, put it in a 5 milliliter vial for you, and you guys just dump it in your tank, and it's a perfect way to seed it. And I've been doing that for a long time. I just don't take it out of the 300 anymore. I just can't. It's too big of a pain in the ass to get in there and do it. So it has to grow in the grow out systems first. So yep, that's about it for this video. We are, I don't know, 18, 19 minutes in. And yeah, so I'll see you guys later with another video, right? Peace.